Alright guys, hey. So we're back one more time. We'll try to get this video out for y'all. This is a reproduction Stihl 070 or 070, whichever you want to call it. It's really nice. It's made by Ogenus. As there is their Ogenus 105cc chainsaw. What I'm taking off here right now is the air filter. And it has a pretty nice stout air filter, as in, so on your normal chainsaw air filter, it's either like this big or about half this size, so it's usually about a third to half this size. The carburetor is freaking gigantic on this thing. I guess it makes sense since these are now also used as moped engines. Put that back on there. So this video is just going to be over what I like about this saw and what maybe you like or not like. The only downside is it's a very cheap saw. I think it came out $440 for the chainsaw and the bar. With this, the downside for me is the knurling on the oil fill valve here, oil fill port here, and the fuel fill port here. There's no knurling on them. So once, if that thing gets some oil on it, or you put it on kind of tight, like right now, like it's too oily for me to really grab it. Let's see. Yeah, I can't even grab it because it's so slippery and oily without that knurling on it. Same with the gas one. I think I can get the gas one off though. Yeah, I can get the gas one off. So that's the only downside to this, really. Also, the chain bar protector that they send with it, the only reason they send you one is because it fits in the box with the chainsaw, since you have to buy the chain separately. This is the size bar and the bar that they recommend for this chainsaw, and it's just, I don't know why they send this in that only covers half of it. So with any chainsaw, you might be wondering, this is a 36-inch bar. That does not mean you get 36 inches of cutting. That means you get, in this case, it's 31.5 inches. If you take the dog teeth off, it would be 32 inches. Hi, Nika. 32 inches. Everything else is here. Mainly, most of the time, almost all the time, they don't measure the full length of the bar. They're not going to measure your actual cutting, because every single chainsaw engine setup is different from the bars. So usually that's your total length of bar. So just add like an extra 6 inches onto any bar that you plan on getting. Add 6 inches to your actual cutting width that you want to be cutting. Unlike the new chainsaws, this one has no dampening, so everything's solid built to the frame. So whatever you're cutting, whatever vibrations that the saw is producing, you are absorbing into your body and you're putting into the log. Other than that, we got this off Amazon. So it was the first one we got, we had to return because it had something seriously wrong with the carburetor. I do not have the kit with me because I wasn't able to find it for some reason. They send you a pouch with the with your standard chainsaw tool to get these nuts off, and it takes the spark plug off and everything. So you get your standard tool pouch, and you get also with that tool pouch, you also get unlike most chainsaws, you won't get it with brand new. But with this one, you will get a screwdriver for tuning your carburetor. If you are up like really high elevation, you will have to adjust that for your elevation because of how thin the air is. Let's see. The only downside is the handles here. They aren't very good plastic, so you'll see me here in a second. If you can't catch it, when I pull up and I feel it crank, I let it snatch back, so I just let my hand go and it slings back down and it will hit the ground. Usually it has to hit concrete or something to break, but I've broken this one on both sides of the handle. That's from me just letting it go because I don't want to deal with that snatch back that is produced when this size of a chainsaw is starts running. You have your on and off switch here. I don't know how many times I've done it with all types of different machines. Always have your switch on when you're trying to crank it. You have your trigger hold there, and that releases the trigger. And you have your decompression valve right here. That's for when you're cranking it, you're never gonna pull this thing, you're never gonna turn it over without pushing that in. And it takes some time getting used to. I think it was like my 10th time before I actually got used to cranking this, where I can crank this up with it almost the first or second try. Like it's pretty simple. There's your choke there on a lot of chainsaws. I prefer a chainsaw that has a choke and a primer. This one just has a choke on it. Now, unlike what some people say, this is a oil fed system. It's not where you have to pump this primer here. Now, this one does have the bonus of having it, so if you need some extra oil, you can push that in and pump it to get that oil going to your bar. But other than that, it's self-feeding. So also, you want to run 80 octane gas or higher, or ethanol free. Personally, I run a 90 on this one because I don't feel like driving 10 miles to get ethanol free gas. And then I run between a 35 and 40 to 1 mixture on it. They say you run a 45 to 50 mixture. That I have never ever had a chainsaw that will run for a long period of time or run efficiently really well with being ran on that. They say that they can be ran on that. I've yet to find one that can be ran on that for long periods of time before it needs extra oil added to the gas for like a tank or two, or just getting destroyed piston rings and so on. That's with ethanol free gas and non-ethanol free gas. So that's just my personal thing. So I try to run 40. Usually don't run 35 or 30. 30 is just too much oil, so I usually try to stick close to 40. But any less than that, so any less than that, so 50 to 1 or so, there's not enough oil in that gas to lubricate the engine. So that's just me. So yeah, on the powder coating, it's not the best powder coating in my opinion. They could have done a little bit better, but this is a lot better than the last one I had. The last one I had was super thin throughout here and had chips all around the name on this one. This one's actually extremely nice and crisp, a lot better than the last one I got that I had returned. I literally think they just junked that one and like, hey, let's just slap this together and send it out. This one's a lot better. If you ever need to replace parts on these, they're super easy because it is the Stihl 070 that are still used all across the world. So you can buy parts from them all the time. So if you have a clutch that goes bad, or if you have a sprocket that goes bad, or a pull cord assembly that goes bad, you can just go online and buy those parts. Even some stores still carry those parts, some of them, not very many of them. The air filters you will have to order, no store sells those. The chains that come with it are actually impressed me a lot. I thought they were going to be some cheap chains that they just decided to toss in there. This is my second chain on this one, and this one's starting to get dull. And on my other chain, the only reason I had to swap it out is because with this chainsaw, the bar is so large. If you have like a 30-inch bar or a 28-inch or 26-inch or something in 20-inch end or 30-inch bar on it, you probably wouldn't have this problem. But unless your tank and oil port is completely filled, your chainsaw chain will always touch the ground. When it's completely filled up, it sits flat with the ground on here, so it keeps the bar and chain off the ground. But that is one thing that is so front heavy with that bar on there that it will hit the ground, and you gotta be careful with that. So that's about everything. I'm just gonna crank it up, and I'm gonna do a slice on this to show y'all. This is let me remind you, this is a dull chain, but they are fantastic chains. The ones that are set with it. And you can always buy more chains. I'm planning on getting a bigger bar, so and also I'm just gonna buy a chain and a roll and make my own chain, 2 size. But these are fantastic chains. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna crank it up right quick, show y'all how easy it is, and then even though this chain is pretty darn dull, you'll see how nicely this thing cuts. So here we go. Take off the front cover. We're just gonna set it right here. Yeah, I think that's a good spot. Also, with all chainsaws I have ever had, the foothold, they all suck. I don't know who came up with chainsaw designs, but no matter what chainsaw I have ever used, the foothold where your hand goes has never been big enough for my foot. Apparently they have really tiny feet, whoever makes these chainsaws and designs them. So here we go. Make sure your choke out, make sure your trigger's on and put that hold on. Make sure your chainsaw is on. Pull that choke out, push down your compression, and almost start it. So that would have ran a lot better if we would have had it in. And this is a fairly small log for this size chainsaw. But it would have ran better if I would have let it warm up. I didn't feel like you need to let it run for about, I'd say if you let it run for about 3 to 5 minutes before you start cutting, it's a good warm up and it runs a lot better. But as you can see, I think that was like 8 or 10 seconds to go through this log. This log is, I think it was 13 inches when I measured it. And you can see it's nice and smooth. And that's with a dull chain on too. Just gonna set this right there. So that's with a dull chain on it. These are fantastic chains. This one needs to be sharpened again. So this is the other one I haven't felt like doing it. But you saw how easy it was to start. Now for that time I accidentally messed up when you first start it, and I was trying to get the gas to go, and I was stupid because to do that you need to turn off your choke. So I had to choke on while I was doing that, and that's why it cut out on me, and I just started back up. I think it took 5 pulls to start that time. Sometimes I can get in 3 pulls. Other than that, if y'all have any questions, please leave your questions down in the comment section below. And if you want to know any more about this chainsaw, just let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down and tell me why you didn't like the video. If you did like it, give me a thumbs up and tell me why you liked it. Also, if you want to help keep this channel from being from being monetized, there's a link in the description down below to my Patreon page. Y'all can do that there. I'm trying to set up an Amazon shop so y'all can order this if y'all want, or if y'all need any other tools that are in this series in my videos. If y'all need any other tools, all I do is I pretty much do everything. So this is a chainsaw one, so most of my stuff is going to be over mechanical stuff. So this just falls in one of those categories, but I do pretty much everything. You'll see stuff on here for ponds, you'll see stuff on here for chainsaws, you'll see stuff on here for 4-wheelers, dirt bikes, racing bikes. You'll see lathe work on here, you'll see woodworking, let's see what you'll see: trailer work, welding, fabrication. You'll see it all. I do pretty much everything, but my main business is I am a small engine mechanic. So everything you see me do either has some type of relation to that, or I do it as a hobby. This is a hobby, and it gets me a little extra money at the end of the month to go goof around with. So that's everything for this video. Please comment, like, subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below, and I will leave you a link. There's also my friend. If you want to help her out, there will be a link in the description below too. And I will be having that Amazon set up soon, so y'all can click that link and go buy any of the tools that you see on my page. That's everything. Have a good one. Bye.